Hello everybody and welcome to this week's AVARigs. My name is Wesley, not as always, but as always to my left we have a very sleek, quiet, and not so colorful PC for once, which depending on who you ask might not be a bad thing. But as always, we'll break down everything inside. I give my opinions and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this bad boy, shall we? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start with the case. As always, this is going to be a Be Quiet case, and this is going to be the Dark Base Pro 700, which is this is the tempered glass one. I do believe that it comes with the non-tempered glass. I could be wrong. I do know that Be Quiet does offer those options, just like Fractal. But nonetheless, Be Quiet cases are really good. They come with Silent Wings fans up front. The one thing I will say though is up top, you have to be really careful because the type of metal and type of material they use for the top piece, it can scuff decently easy if you're not careful, which, I just don't go throwing it around or, have kids around it, but that's kind of 101 for a PC like this, so I don't need to go further into details. Alrighty, so as for the motherboard, the customer chose an ASUS ROG Crosshair 8 Hero. This is going to be the Wi-Fi edition, and this is an AMD board, so this is a X570 chipset. So you probably could guess what the customer chose for a CPU, but if you didn't, if you don't want to guess, I'll just go ahead and tell you now. It's going to be an AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. And then moving on to the graphics card. So not standard cut and dry EVGA. We're spicing things up this week, all right? All right, so for the graphics card, the customer chose, shockingly, not an NVIDIA card. So they went with an AMD card. And they chose the XFX Radeon, the RX 6800 XT. And this is the SPEEDSTER Swift 309 Core Edition. So this graphics card has 16 gigabytes of memories, and the clock speed varies between 1825 at at base clock, and then it can go up to 2250 megahertz. And the memory is GDDR6. And it is also extremely long. Okay, this is a long card. You'll see in the B-roll. All right, I guess you could say probably not as long. I guess because there's no RGB or anything on it. Because I think the EVGA cards are about as long as that. Maybe a little shorter. Now that you look at it. Nonetheless, we're not here to compare, graphics card sizes. So we're gonna move on. So let's go ahead and talk about what memory the customer chose. So the customer ended up choosing a kit of CORSAIR. This is gonna be the Dominator Platinum memory. And this is gonna be a 32 gigabyte kit, and the clock speed on this is gonna be 3200 megahertz. I really do like the Dominator Platinum series, especially the RGB. If it does have RGB. Just because of how it looks. It's so unique. It looks really clean. I don't know. It's nothing too wild either. I think that's why I like it so much. It looks good though. I really like that memory. And also CORSAIR memory isn't too bad either. I had CORSAIR memory for the longest time before I switched over. But moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the power supply. This is going to be a Be Quiet power supply in the back as well. And this is going to be the Straight Power 11. And this is going to be a Platinum Edition power supply, 850 watt power supply. And this is a Foley module as well. The Be Quiet power supplies are pretty nice. I do know like the 15 watt titaniums come in this really awesome box. It's like this big, like this tall. It's pretty cool, bro. I was looking at it the other day and it's real cool. They go out for their packaging on those. But moving on, this is the first Be Quiet AIO that I have personally seen, working here. And because I don't spend my time looking at this stuff online. So when I saw this, I was kind of excited to see it, just because It's something I've heard about for a while, but never seen. And it's pretty nice. This is kind of weird to me. I don't know what that necessarily is. So, I mean, shame on me, I suppose. So I do want to make one clarification here, and I'm a fool for not recognizing this. So these AIOs actually come with actual liquid you can put in, all right? So this right here is going to be your refill port, but that is actually what that is. That's a really unique feature in my opinion, because I don't think anybody else has something like that. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, if you have an issue, you know, maybe if liquid's not, you know, pumping properly, you clear it out and all that good stuff and refill it. But it is be quiet fashion. Nothing too crazy going on. You got some LED along the block there, around the, right there. Can't think of my words, forgive me. But it looks solid, and they make great products. So I can only assume that it's gonna work well as well. And moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the storage. So the customer has one M.2, and this is going to be the Samsung 2TB 980 Pro. And they also went with a 2.5-inch SSD, and this is going to be the 4TB 870 EVO also. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's going to go ahead and do it for this week's AVARigs. As always, I have a couple things I wanted to, talk to you about. If this is a computer or a build that interests you in any way, shape, or form, you have several ways of going about getting it. So the first one is probably the most simplistic way. If you don't want to go through and pick and choose everything down to, cables, then our INSTABUILDER is going to be the option for you. So the cool thing about that is you go to our INSTABUILDER page. It's going to ask you some questions about what games you want to play, what resolution you want to play at, your budget, basic questions like that. You go ahead and put all that information in, and what it's going to do in the back end is it's going to go ahead and piece components together for you, and then it's going to say, okay, this is going to be what's in your computer. You do have some control over, what kind of case you want, but very, very minor control. It's a really, really great tool. If you really don't know what you're really looking for, but kind of have a basic thought of what you're trying to achieve, this is a great tool, and I highly recommend it. Number two, if you do want to pick and choose everything that goes in your computer, our configurator is going to be the way you want to go 100%. You can pick almost anything that your mind can desire or even think of in terms of a computer, and it'll probably be there. So with all of that out of the way, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, seeing as I'm kind of here for a while, so sorry about that. I can safely say that I'll probably catch you on the next one. So my name's Wesley, and this has been AVARigs.
If you like the PC in this video, be sure to contact our sales team at sales@avadirect.com, or you can head over to our website by clicking on the link in the description below. You can choose from many pre-built options, gaming or workstation based, or use our configurator to build a PC of your dreams. Be sure to click that thumbs up button and subscribe, and don't forget to follow our social media channels at avadirect.com.